Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Alex. Huge thanks to Alex and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Alex reached out asking for a group hug deck led by Kenrith the Returned King, and I was more than happy to oblige. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Kenrith the Returned King is a 5-mana 5/5 legendary human noble with 5 activated abilities. For a single red, we can give all creatures haste and trample until the end of turn. For 1 and a green, we can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. For 2 and a white, we can gift a player 5 life. For 3 and a blue, we can have someone draw a card. Finally, for 4 and a black, we can put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under its owner's control. Now, Kenrith is considered a top-tier CEDH commander. With infinite mana, we can force the table to draw their libraries. But that's not what we're trying to do here. Well, we are, but we're not doing it with infinite mana. We're also doing it on a budget. Alex asks that the deck come in under $200. So the best way I found to keep a budget is to run cheap lands. But we'll need more than just lands and group hug effects to build our deck, and for that, we turn to our handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. As I'm sure you've heard by now, this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. One of my favorite products Ultimate Guard has is their Xenoskin Omnihive. Years ago, when my family and I would all go play Standard together, we would bring all of our decks inside of Xenoskin Omnihives. We could fit everyone's decks, spare tokens and dice, and everyone's playmats into 2 of these massive boxes. Well, the new ones are here, and instead of 5 60-card or 4 commander decks, these can fit 8 commander decks or 10 60-card decks. This thing is massive, and I can't wait to finish filling it up with my decks. Find out if your local game store carries the Ultimate Guard products, or click on the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. One more thing before we get started. I've been streaming Final Fantasy XIV over on my other channel, Musings by Danon. If you want to pop in and ask some questions, chat about Commander, or just hang out, you're more than welcome to. For right now, the schedule is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays in the evenings. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, 7 Plains, 7 Islands, 6 Swamps, 6 Mountains, and 9 forests make up our very budget land base. Virtue of Strength, Heartbeat of Spring, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Chromatic Lantern, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, Azusa Lost But Seeking, Burgeoning, Exploration, Dictate of Karametra, Tenth Discovery, Collective Voyage, Girapur Orrery, Zertaw Ancient, Mana Flare, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, and New Frontiers make up a rather expansive mana ramp package. Kami of the Crescent Moon, Rites of Flourishing, Quain Itinerant Meddler, Minds Aglow, Howling Mine, Folio of Fancies, Teferi's Ageless Insight, Savala Explorer Returned, Temple Bell, Heartwood Storyteller, Horn of Greed, Lauren of the Third Path, Intellectual Offering, Sail into the West, Vision Skeins, Secret Rendezvous, Cut a Deal, Tempt with Immortality, and Flux help us to keep our hands full as well as our opponent's hands. Arcane Denial, Beast Within, Generous Gift, Oblation, Chaos Warp, Teferi's Protection, Dream Fracture, Commit Memory, and Council's Judgment allow us to interact with the board, but most of our spot removal gives a small gift. Something to take the edge off of us destroying your most valuable cards, you know? Cyclonic Rift and Evacuation both serve as slightly friendlier board wipes. Sure, they're annoying in the right circumstances, but at least your creatures aren't killed. Glunch the Bestower, Braids Conjurer Adept, Kinos and Tiro of Miletus, Rocco Street Chef, Master of Ceremonies, Biomancer's Familiar, Zerda the Dawnwaker, Serdan the Shipwright, Laboratory Maniac, Triskaidekaphile, and Wandering Archaic make up the core of our deck. Supporting our plan and helping to protect ourselves, we've also got Tidal Barracuda, Windborn Muse, and Insurrection. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 55 mana sources split between 37 lands and 18 pieces of ramp. Heavy, I know, but that's kind of the point of this deck. 19 pieces of card advantage, almost all of it to help the table. 9 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 1 piece of graveyard hate in Commit Memory, and 1 Sudden I Win card in Insurrection. Now, Alex specifically requested a group hug deck that did have a way to win the game. My thought was that we could win in one of 3 ways: drawing through Kenrith and winning the game with either a Laboratory Maniac or a Triskaidekaphile, milling our opponents out with Kenrith and the rest of our group draw effects, or via Insurrection. For viewers on their phones, Insurrection is an 8-mana sorcery. We untap all creatures and gain control of them until the end of turn, and they gain haste. Basically, we take every creature on board and smash our opponents with them. But that's a backup win con. We are running Biomancer's Familiar and Zerda the Dawnwaker. Both of these cards lower the cost of activated abilities in our creatures. And Kenrith is nothing but activated abilities. So with 1 on board, we only pay 2 mana to draw a card. And with all the mana doublers we're running, forcing someone else to mill out, or ourselves assuming we have a lab man on board, shouldn't be hard. Now, I went with almost all basics not just to save money on the budget, but also due to Virtue of Strength. Remember, it only triples the mana of basic lands. Dryad of the Elysian Grove and Chromatic Lantern both help to fix any mana issues we may be having, but with all of our group draw combined with all of our play extra land effects, we shouldn't have a problem casting any spell we want. Do you have a group hug deck? Who's your commander? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Alex, Cookie, Borgie, Jake, Exiled Rogue, Manassas, Naswin, Oolong, and Pedro. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.